Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Have you ever looked at a massive manufacturing plant, a complex water treatment facility, or even a crazy roller coaster and wondered, how on earth does this all run so flawlessly? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the invisible brain behind modern industry, the Programmable Logic Controller, or PLC. Whether you're totally new to automation or just brushing up on the basics, we're going to break this down step by step. Let's get started. Here's our roadmap for today. 1. Meet the industrial brain. 2. Inside the PLC hardware. 3. The PLC scan cycle. 4. Inputs and outputs explained. And 5. Programming and real-world action. Okay, let's jump right into section 1. Meet the industrial brain. So, what exactly is a PLC? At its core, a programmable logic controller is a computer, but it's definitely not the kind of computer you're using to watch this right now. It's a rugged industrial computer designed specifically to continuously monitor inputs, process logic based on a stored program, and control output devices to automate machinery. I really want to emphasize that word rugged. These things are built to survive harsh, demanding industrial environments. We're talking extreme temperatures, crazy vibrations, and intense electrical noise, and they handle it all without missing a beat. To really appreciate PLCs, you have to know what came before them. Back in the day, we relied on traditional relay logic. It was honestly a nightmare of extensive wiring that was slow and incredibly difficult to modify. If you wanted to change how a machine operated, you literally had to go in and rewire the whole thing by hand. The modern PLC completely changed the game. It gives us minimal wiring, lightning-fast operation, super easy programming, and built-in diagnostics for quick troubleshooting. It's an absolute game-changer for reliability.
So the crucial point is really this simple equation that demystifies the whole system. A PLC equals an industrial computer plus a control program telling it what to do, plus input devices acting as its senses, plus output devices acting as its muscles. That's the whole shebang. It takes in signals from the real world, makes decisions based on your logic, and sends commands right back out.
Now, you might be wondering, why does this matter? Well, because PLCs are secretly powering almost everything around us. They're the driving force in manufacturing plants. They control the pumps in our water treatment plants. They run conveyor systems, elevator controls, huge power stations, and even the traffic light systems you drive through every single day. They are literally the backbone of Industry 4.0. Let's move on and see how this actually builds. Section 2, inside the PLC hardware. If we crack open a PLC, it's kind of like looking at the essential organs of a living machine. You've got the power supply giving juice to the electronics. Then you have the CPU, the memory for storing your program, the input module to receive signals, the output module to send out commands, and the communication module, which lets the PLC talk to other systems and networks. But out of all those components, the CPU, or Central Processing Unit, is absolutely the star of the show. It is the brain of the PLC. This is where all the actual thinking and decision-making happens. It's responsible for reading those inputs, executing your user program, making logical decisions, and then updating the outputs. Think of it as the conductor of the industrial orchestra.
Which brings us to section 3, the PLC scan cycle.
You see, a PLC doesn't just do things randomly. It operates in this very strict, continuously looping routine called the scan cycle. Let's walk through it. Step 1 is the input scan, where it reads the status of every single input device. Step 2 is the program scan, where the CPU actually executes the logic you wrote. Step 3 is the output scan, where it physically updates the output devices based on that logic. And finally, step 4 is housekeeping, for things like diagnostics and communication. As soon as step 4 is done, it loops right back to step 1. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer speed of this loop. That entire 4-step cycle we just walked through, it typically happens in just 1 to 20 milliseconds. That is unbelievably fast. The PLC is repeating this entire process in mere fractions of a second, which is exactly how we get real-time control over heavy machinery. Moving right along to section 4, inputs and outputs explained. Let's compare the machine's senses directly against its muscles. Input devices, like push buttons, limit switches, and temperature sensors, send signals to the PLC. They tell the brain what's happening out in the physical world. On the flip side, output devices, like motors, solenoid valves, and alarms, receive commands from the PLC. They're the muscles physically moving or changing things based on the decisions the PLC just made. And this brilliantly illustrates the crucial difference in the types of signals these devices use. Digital signals are simple. They only ever have two states, on or off, just like a basic light switch. But analog signals represent continuous values. Think of a dimmer switch. Analog signals use standards like 4 to 20 milliamps or 0 to 10 volts to represent a varying range, perfect for measuring things that constantly change, like pressure or temperature. Let's tie it all together in Section 5, Programming and Real-World Action.
So how do we actually talk to a PLC? Well, we use standardized programming languages. The main ones are ladder diagram, function block diagram, structured text, and sequential function chart. While something like structured text looks a lot like traditional PC coding, ladder diagram or ladder logic is by far the most popular and accessible starting point. Why? Because it was designed specifically to visually resemble those old electrical relay circuits, making it super intuitive for beginners.
To show you just how straightforward this can be, look at this simple ladder logic rule. If the start button is on and the stop button is off, then turn the motor on. Literally, that's it. Programming a PLC is just giving the brain a very strict set of logical, condition-based rules to follow. So what does this all mean? We've talked about some abstract concepts, hardware, scan times, inputs, outputs, and logic rules. But how does this all actually look in reality? Let's take all these puzzle pieces and put them together into one tangible example. Let's walk through a water tank pump system. Say the physical system state is that the water level falls. This causes our input device, the low-level switch, to turn on. The PLC reads this, runs it through the logic that says, start the pump, and bam, updates the output to turn the pump motor on. Next, the tank fills up. The high-level switch turns on. The logic says, stop the pump, so the PLC turns the pump motor off. And if there's a system fault, the alarm switch turns on. The logic triggers a warning, and the alarm lamp output turns on. Inputs, logic, and outputs, all working together flawlessly. If you decide to take this knowledge out into the field, these are the heavy hitters you're going to encounter. Common PLC manufacturers like Siemens, Allen Bradley, Mitsubishi Electric, Omron, Schneider Electric, and ABB are the absolute giants of the industry. These are the brands you're going to see powering Industry 4.0 when you walk onto pretty much any factory floor out there. To help you master this technology, here's a quick, actionable learning roadmap summarizing what we've covered. Step 1, get a handle on electrical basics and digital logic. Step 2, study the physical PLC hardware and I/O modules, which we just did. Step 3, dive deep into learning ladder logic programming. And finally, Step 4, advance your skills by practicing with analog signals and learning how to integrate the PLC with HMI and SCADA systems. We've covered the rugged hardware, those lightning-fast scan cycles, the real-world inputs and outputs, and the logical programming that ties the whole thing together. Now that you understand the invisible brain behind modern automation, what process will you build, program, or automate next in Industry 4.0? The possibilities are quite literally endless. Keep learning, keep exploring, and thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.
What is a PLC? Let's learn the basics. A PLC receives signals from sensors and controls industrial machines. Master PLC fundamentals.